loans Liz was trying to fill at the bank, or whose parents we wanted to spend Thanksgiving with. Mostly, though, we'd have talked about Sara. Which one of her friends she wanted the next play date with. What she wanted to be for Halloween. Whether she was going to keep growing her hair or get it chopped off. Putting her to bed, Liz and I might even have paused to remark on how lucky we were, as we were inclined to do. But at no point would we have considered the possibility that we'd dodged a bullet that day, that we'd come this close to our lives veering permanently off course. That's the kind of thing you see only in hindsight. This was late October, just over 2 years ago, when Sara was in first grade. I had a small accounting business I ran out of the house, tax work mostly, and I'd knocked off early to be the parent helper in Sara's classroom. Up until the drive home from Montclair, it was a good afternoon. The kids were writing their own historically accurate Thanksgiving play, with deer meat instead of turkey, and no black clothes or funny buckles. I got to help with the script. "Do not be confused, sir. We are pilgrims, not Puritans." And painting the backdrop. At the end of the day, there was a birthday party outside. The weather was warm for fall. Kids shedding hoodies, kicking up leaves, the sun almost white against a deep blue sky. And though it was Thursday, I remember it feeling like Friday. The birthday girl had brought a box of chocolate cupcakes the size of softballs. Sara offered me a bite of hers, very polite in front of her teacher, and looked relieved when I said no thanks. I was teasing her about that on the drive home, asking if she'd saved me any, when I had to stop short for a light on Thomas Boulevard. I didn't know there was a police car behind us until it almost rear-ended us. In the mirror, I could see the officer back there cursing me. I shook my head. What are you going to do? I thought. Write me a ticket for not running the light? What he ended up doing was backing up and going around us, as if the law didn't apply to him. No flashing lights, no siren, no nothing. He ran the light because he could, because who was going to stop him? As he passed us, he shot me a look. The look was what did it. Imagine my finger tapping the first in a line of dominoes. I opened the window, stuck out my arm, and flipped him off. I admit I'm not the most laid-back driver, especially with Sara in the back seat. Even now, I still think about a close call we had in Cleveland not long before she was born. I'd just passed my CPA exam, and Liz had taken me out to celebrate. On the way home after dinner, a few blocks from our apartment, the light turned green and she started into the intersection. Next thing I knew, the trees and cars and buildings were going sideways. A delivery truck had run the light and spun us into a pole. It felt like we'd been hit by a tornado. The front end of the car was practically gone. A few more feet into the intersection, and it would have been the driver's side door. Liz was hysterical. "Oh my God! Oh my God!" Hyperventilating and holding her stomach, saying she should have seen the guy coming. She was 7 months pregnant. At the risk of offering too tidy an explanation, it was the kind of thing that makes you appreciate waking up every morning, but also the kind of thing that can make you edgy just driving to the store for a gallon of milk, or watching a lead-foot cop run a light. 3 years later, after we'd paid twice as much for a house in South Orange that was half as big as the one we'd left in Cleveland, the driver of the moving truck, taking a smoke break behind the semi-trailer, warned me about Jersey drivers. The lowest of the low, he called them. He was from the city, he said, and therefore in a position to know. I remember thinking, oh, please. I'd heard the jokes about New Jersey and frankly didn't believe motorists in one place were any worse than in another. The next few weeks changed my mind, though. I'd never seen so much hostile, reckless, flat-out incompetent driving. Running the gauntlet to and from Sara's school, 25 minutes each way, twice a day, part of the price we paid to send her to a crunchy private school. I'd pass the time tallying infractions and coming up with theories to explain it all. Maybe New Jersey, with its sky-high taxes and neglected roads, simply had more pissed-off drivers than other states. Or maybe New Jerseyans with their second-highest per capita income felt